Facebook, and a lot of different places. So it varies. I don't. We don't have a. No, the numbers are not huge, but it's more of a. Okay. All right. You should go. Okay.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
If you want to reach our 50,000 plus listeners and viewers per week, please email
I never know where this is.
power108abs@gmail.com. That's power108abs@gmail.com.
Live, let's get it. Hey, what up, y'all? We are back. You are tuned into Power 108.9. I am your host, Ebony M. Appeal, and your host, Armand Kadima, and we are Conscious Intercourse.
We are Conscious Intercourse, right?
Yes. You with us, Armand? You here?
Yo, these devices are addictive, man. I'm over here.
What you trying to do?
Messing around with this AI, right?
Yeah, not the AI though.
Right?
What's up, y'all?
I'm taking over the world right now.
It's been a minute. Happy to be back. Hope everybody's doing well.
We're doing amazing.
On this hump day. You know, getting back into the swing of things. We took a show off.
Did we take a show off?
We took a show off to take care of the kiddies during spring break. So, you know, we was giving the children some time.
Family time, right?
Family time.
Mandated. Mandated family time, right?
Trying to get everybody all, chilled and, get that mental together.
We'll get some relaxation time.
A
peace of mind.
Woosah.
To get away from
the
everything.
Mundane,
the
monotony, all that good stuff. And speaking of that.
Right, conscious intercourse, ultimately we talk about, the evolution of our spiritual nature, right?
Yes.
We are human beings having spiritual experiences. So we're coming with that. We have to consciously intertwine and make sure that we are aware of how everything, from our mental state to our families, to our jobs, to our creativity, to our purpose, all intertwined consciously to where we're living lives of purpose.
That's right.
Lives of conscious decision making, right?
That's
so
right.
Conscious intercourse is all about that.
That's right.
Bringing everything to the forefront. Things that people don't want to discuss. Things that are, traumatic or
things that's happy. Things that's good. It's not always trauma and pain, and it's just life and all the life experiences, good and bad.
Indeed.
And and how we can relate and how we can help everybody else who relates.
Yeah.
Deal with and process. You know what I mean?
So there's no good and bad, right? Only
it's
thinking
just,
makes it so,
there
right?
There you go.
I love it.
Life experiences.
Most definitely, right?
And we have someone with us today to share in their experiences.
That's right.
Dope individual, Christopher Johnson.
CJ.
CJ.
Right. Whole government name.
Government.
Go put your whole government out
name,
there.
Right?
Okay.
CJ, what it do?
Man, what's happening? I'm just happy to be here with y'all. Man.
Yes, thank you
honor
for
to be here with
joining
y'all.
us.
Absolutely.
You got a lot going on.
I do.
You got a lot going on, and this is we
Beautiful.
thought it would be great to have you on to share your experiences and your awesomeness with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel real special though.
Do you? You are special.
You should.
Well, I mean, I feel more special.
More special today,
I
right?
always feel real special.
Yes.
You know
Why
what I'm
you
saying?
feel more special today?
Because, man, it was an honor. Y'all invited me to be here on y'all anniversary show. It's 1 year.
It is
1
1 year,
year.
So you
y'all,
gotta clap
today.
for y'all, man.
Yeah.
1 year, Armand.
This is a 1 year anniversary,
Wow.
right? That's what's up, man. This has been.
We did that.
It's been an accomplishment,
Man.
This has been
Journey.
it's been a journey. It's been a lot of a learning experience, right?
That's right.
This is
Life.
life, man. Life be lifing.
Hey.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Anniversary.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. know something.
There we go. On time with it.
Right? I love that, man.
Right.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, so yes, we're happy to have you
Yeah.
on this amazing
Yeah.
day.
Well, thank y'all for having me, man.
It's a
Yes.
powerful, it's a powerful day. It's a powerful opportunity.
Yeah.
So, that's why you should feel special, right? Because
doubt.
we're here to talk about something transcending, something, that ultimately, like Ebony, alluded to earlier in the show, it's about life, right?
Going up.
The ups and downs, the roller
right.
coasters, but it's all one.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about you, man. I know you say you got a lot going on, and
Yeah, man.
tell us about who you are.
Life is good. So I'm Chris Johnson, aka CJ,
Yeah.
aka Aiden Osmond. That's my pen name.
Okay.
I'm 50%. Let me get that right. I'm 49% owner of Reclaim Karma.
We better get it right.
My wife is the majority share. Me and my wife, we run a design and build firm called Reclaim Karma. I'm a general contractor. She's an interior designer, and we build dope shit, man.
And it's a dope show.
Yeah,
It's a dope show.
Yeah.
Y'all have such an amazing.
Yeah, I mean, so we do. We have our construction company. Then we have
Yes.
Creative Karma, which is our content creation company, media company. We do a lot of brand partnerships. We do, like you said, shows, web series. Yeah, man, we just be
That's
using all the
awesome.
gifts God gave us, man.
That's
all, you know what I'm
awesome.
saying?
And to do that with your wife,
I
you
know.
know, that's an amazing thing.
It
How
is.
how is that? How is that,
Shit, up and down.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's up and down, but more so ups than it is.
Then that's
than
what
it is
matters.
down,
That's what's
you know?
up.
Yeah.
Because
That's
I mean,
what's up.
like, you just like this year we celebrate 10 years
Wow.
of marriage. We've been together
Congratulations.
for, thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've been together for 17 years total.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
You know,
Okay, that's what's
and
up.
Man, that's
when you just
beautiful.
look back at the person that you've been with that long and you've grown together, continue to grow together, continue to submit to one another and accept each other for their faults and for their good parts, and you recognize like I wouldn't be where you are at this point without that person. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. Now, I
what's up.
believe both of us would always be successful people just because of our nature of who we are.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, well, who said that song? You know what I'm saying? It's, I can do this by
Fabulous.
myself, but it's a
Fab.
force when we're together.
I'm a movement by myself.
Yeah.
But I'm a force when we're together.
Right.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
That's Neo. You know when
That's
the Neo
Neo.
dropping the
In
bar.
fact, that's
That's
true.
Neo.
That's
but
true.
Neo singing
That's
the
Neo
hook, right?
singing the hook.
That's the best thing he's
That's
ever
who
did.
I saw
That's his best
first.
work.
Yeah,
I saw Neo,
Yeah.
but you reminded me Fab was
Right,
on that
right,
too.
you know.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And I like what you said. You said, both of you are, submitting to each other. I heard that, and that's
Oh yeah, my wife is a beast, man.
That's-
so
that's
she's
what's
had
up.
to accept some things with me
yes,
of who I am, my craziness, and I've had to accept her practicality.
Ooh,
But
great
but that's
word.
love, right?
hey, man,
That's love.
that work.
That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, you're
love
right.
is work.
It's work, right?
Love is
It's
work,
definitely
man.
work.
Yeah.
Work is AKA your worship.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Therefore, what you put your life into,
Yeah.
sure
That's
you get
what's
it back
up. That's-
tenfold, you know?
Yeah. Someone asked me yesterday, is love a feeling? Right. And I
love is an
yeah.
action.
Is love? What is love? Is it a feeling? He was trying to get me to look at something from a certain perspective, but I was like, yeah, love is a feeling. What else could it be? Right?
That was your answer?
Yeah. I mean, what else could it be? I have a better understanding now of what love is, but at the time, it was like, is love a feeling? I'm like, yeah, it is, because you feel love, right? It's a feeling.
It's a feeling, but I think it's an action too. Love is duty. We spoke on this. Love is duty. Like you said, love is work.
Yeah.
Is you saying that I choose you, we choose each other, and we gonna stick together and make this happen, regardless of whom or what. We gonna come together. And
It's a
make
very
this happen.
profound moment, so I know I'm probably gonna mess this up.
Nah,
But-
don't speak it into
No.
existence.
No,
Because I already said in my head, I was like, damn, I got it mixed up what it is. But
Yeah, right.
but so like the ancient Egyptian symbol for love was it the reap or the hoe, whatever the
Yeah,
sickle, whatever
the
you
hoe.
use. You know what I'm saying?
Here we go.
It ain't that.
Hey, I'm just used to.
You always gotta
I was
go
just
left.
saying-
It ain't
Always
that.
gotta
It's
go
not
left.
that. It's not that.
My bad.
But, you know, it was,
I was thinking about
whatever
that.
whatever
Yeah.
that tool was
Yeah.
they used, right?
Yeah.
That was the symbol for love, because love is work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like, you don't really get much out of it if you don't put in the work. I think in
Yeah.
the beginning it is a feeling that,
Yeah.
and then as you progress through your relationship, it turns into an action.
That's
Because
right.
if you don't keep
Working at it.
if you don't keep making it a verb, then the feeling goes away.
Okay.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And that
I
tool,
got
that garden tool, I'm sure is probably
Yeah,
some
there
kind.
we
It's
go.
probably
It's a better use of term.
because
Yeah.
it's prepping for planting something, for
Yeah.
something that's going to be in the works to grow,
Yeah.
right? So you start with your tools, and you know you reap something beautiful.
Hey, you can't build nothing with no tools.
Yeah,
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, you know best about that,
you
right?
Mr. Builder.
So-
Yes.
So this gentleman yesterday, it was actually, he's like a life coach, right?
Okay.
Cause, you know, I had to take, you know, I've been, you know, people have suggested and recommending therapy, right? But the traditional therapy really has never really worked for me, right? Sitting on the couch and kind of sharing your stories or your, you know, your challenges was never really worked for me. So I was looking for something different, something that kind of could cater to where I am and my perception of the world. So when he asked me about the love being a feeling, he was trying to get to the point where he defined love as a frequency. So love is a frequency, right?
see that.
Because
I like that.
ultimately you have to vibrate.
On the same
So
frequency.
love is the highest level of any type of frequency, right? We are spiritual beings. We are energies. So it's all about, everything is a frequency. So love is the highest form of frequency. So ultimately, if you conceptualize what love is from a frequency perspective and you begin to vibrate that way, because it starts with self-love first. Because if you love your first and are truly in love with yourself, right, then your frequency begins to vibrate at a level to where you're going to attract
That's right.
like-minded people and circumstances that bring forth love.
Right.
So ultimately, at least my understanding of it now is that I don't necessarily feel like love has to be so much work. I'm kind of going to counter that. To me, it's more of, if you're vibrating at a certain frequency, then whatever you attract is in alignment with who you are, and it becomes easy, flawless, like Neo in the Matrix, right? Things are no longer difficult. They're just what they are. It's
Well, work don't always have to be difficult, though.
no,
right?
I get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of times in when you think about it, when people talk about relationships, it's always like, man, it's work, man. You gotta, you know, it's always from a connotation of it's work. It's something that's difficult, but you gotta work through it. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna have challenges. You're gonna have ups and downs. It seems a sense of a rigorous type of, you know,
Okay.
experience. Just
Yeah.
giving a different perspective to it. So when he shared that with me, I was like, you know what?
I can
That's
receive
profound. That was,
Yeah.
that was
I
deep.
can receive that.
Yeah.
Definitely. But work is progression, movement, motion.
Yeah.
Whether it's growth, whether it's, something declining, it's work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but movement, motion is work.
Well, that's life, right? We're frequencies.
Exactly.
We're vibrating, so everything has to be in motion, right?
Exactly.
Hey, you don't
Any,
work, you don't
yeah, you don't work, you don't eat. But anytime you stop vibrating, you stop growing, and that's death,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Death is when things begin to stop. When you
no
reach
movement.
no
Yes.
movement is
No
death.
movement.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You got to continuously, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But can't you transcend when your physical can't move no more?
Yeah.
The energy that you had here can still be in movement.
it
The
is.
work
Yeah.
that you put out before can still be in movement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. That's why I used to love Pac and the Outlaws. Used to talk about outlaw immortals. They used to talk about how we put out this music, we're immortalized ourselves
Right.
because even after we're gone, this music is going to be here,
Right.
continuously, impacting future generations.
And I think that's something to focus on, like the impact you leave in this earth, like in this world. What you leave, your legacy, what you leaving in your children, what people think of you,
That's it.
when you're not around, what they say about you when you're not around. That's what's important.
Yeah.
That's what we want to focus on, with the legacy we're leaving. And we talk about our mental health. To show
That word,
that
phrase,
mental health and keeping our mental together. And self-love, like you said, that's first.
Man, so we start doing these days called self-karma,
Okay.
right? And the philosophy behind it is when you think of karma, you always think about what you put out into the world that you hopefully get back. So we were just chilling one day. It was like, but what about what you put into yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That allows you to be able to give back greatness also. So if you don't pour greatness into yourself, how do you expect to
Boom.
put greatness back out?
Great point.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just something that we've been really focusing on, man. Like we'll on Sundays or someday during the week, we work out separately most days of the week, and then we come together one day during the week
Okay.
and go do a workout together, which is normally walking.
Okay.
So we'll hit the belt line, we'll hit the mountain, or we'll find a different trail, so like that.
Yeah.
And just work out together and be still together. You know what I'm saying? And just
Be still together. Ooh, how important is that? Because y'all,
real
especially when
hard.
you got a lot
Man,
going on.
like I think as a society we're like super overstimulated.
Yes.
You know, like we just don't slow
Man.
down. We always moving in
Yeah.
motion.
Exactly.
You know, because I guess we always working. At least I
Yeah.
feel like I'm always working.
Yeah.
But I love what
Yeah.
I do, so it don't really feel like a negative
Exactly.
thing. You know,
Right.
But yeah, just being still, I've recognized like grounding, getting back connected with the earth, and just listening to my breath, focusing on my breath, and allowing things to. When thoughts come in, it's like it's just a thought, and let it flow back out just as easy as it came in.
There you
Exactly.
What we were saying, like Wing
Meditation.
Chun, you know what I'm saying? We learned that
Wing
Wing Chun
Chun.
flow. We
Just
you gotta get the word like this.
Ipman, right? Just no, that's very
Exactly.
powerful because it's
Yeah.
like it's energies, right?
Yeah.
And they come in different forms and fashion. It's just a matter of managing and transferring them out, right?
Right.
Recognizing what they are and just okay, it comes in, move it back out. I'm gonna let it
That's
get.
right.
I'm gonna circulate it because it's about currency. It's about
That's right.
moving the energy, like you said, moving the energy
Movement.
around. So that's powerful.
So, because you guys have such a very busy life and you're talking about being still, having those moments where you just, off camera and just really just connecting with each other. What do your still moments look like? Like you said, connecting with the earth, so being outside in nature, just being home doing nothing.
Yeah. I mean, my wife's love language is acts of service.
Is what?
Acts of service.
Acts of service.
You know,
Okay.
And, I get pleasure out of giving pleasure.
Okay.
So I don't mind giving her acts of service. So
Okay.
if that's, cooking a nice meal at the house,
Okay.
we'll do that. We've been putting in a lot of work in our backyard, so sometimes we'll just go back and just sit and just bask in like, yo, man, we did this shit.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes you got to
And it's
stop.
to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because you
Right.
can always be looking at. I'm reading right now, Atomic Habits.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
And I think what's his name, Jimmy Clear, I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
But anyways, it was recommended to me, and he was saying in there like we spend a lot of time always being goal driven
Yeah.
instead of like system and process driven, and just really focusing on the action and being in the moment.
moment,
because
present.
if you get the moment right, then everything else is it's going
That's
come.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's
being
right.
still for us is reflecting, appreciating where we've gotten to, appreciating each other, appreciating what I've sacrificed, what she's sacrificed. It's it just being however we
That's
can be still.
beautiful.
Sometimes it's just a drive.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just get in the car and just
yeah.
peeling out.
Yeah,
Right.
we
Yeah.
still like to go look at big houses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Like what they do.
Right. Straight up.
Do that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Now, being still is so powerful, right? Being present, being in the moment. I think it's something that a lot of us have overlooked, in life, because we're always thinking about the next thing, tomorrow, right? Or yesterday. What did I do wrong? What went wrong?
Right.
And then it's like, okay.
Well,
Then the
yeah,
anxiety
yeah.
about the future. Well, will I be able to do this? Am I going to achieve this? It's, we get so distracted with all these things instead of just focusing on the now.
Yeah.
Because today is what ultimately going to create your
Exactly.
Hey, bro, this right here, this will do it for you, bro.
Man, how
you'll
hard
get
is it
caught
to
in the loop
put
where
it
you be
down?
hitting like this,
future. Right?
you know what I'm
Put
saying?
it down.
You'll be gone, right?
Look, like
You-
right now, I gotta check this message.
Exactly,
I
right?
gotta check this message.
So he's really in it,
See,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
It's like, yo,
put it down. Like as soon as we wake up in the morning, until we turn around and be like,
Right.
Yeah.
Like why?
That's my cute wife right there at the,
Look
she's
at
at the eye
that.
doctor trying on glasses,
Yeah.
you know. And she's
Aw.
practical, and I'm like, man, go get the Goaches.
Right.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Pradas,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
She's like, I don't need all that.
You know, yeah, she's like,
I don't need all that. That's
I'm
right.
Like, I'll roll it in and buy it for her.
Oh,
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah.
That's
Hold
what's
on
up. I
to
wish
the-
she was able to join us today, but we know she got things going on.
Well, I mean,
Next
she
time.
might pop up.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Might pop up.
That'll be awesome
what's
if she
up.
She on
does.
Spring Road, so she ain't too far.
Yeah,
Okay.
this how we do it, right?
Yes.
Real live and in action.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I love it.
That's right.
I know, because I didn't get no, like, pre-questions or nothing. I don't know what y'all
No,
finna
we
ask.
real impromptu. We just flow
Pre-questions.
with it. You
Man.
know, we don't rehearse
You know,
none.
just playing.
We
Yeah.
rarely talk about the show before the show. It's like what we'd say the
It's just a
topic.
vibe.
Yeah.
Just let
you
it
know,
flow.
vibe.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when we got a guest. We want them to just be natural in it. You know what I mean? Tell your story, be comfortable. Just do
I
your
mean,
thing.
well, I love both of y'all, man. So
Yeah.
it's a
That's
vibe.
what's
Like,
up.
we love you
Back
too,
at
man.
you, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what's up. That's what's up.
You know, it's interesting because you and I go way back. You know, all the way to high school, man. You know, it's I know a lot of times we say we're going on 30 years of our friendship, right?
Ooh,
It's,
y'all old.
I was just gonna say, bro. It's like, what the hell you doing, man? You doing?
I mean, that was
Hey.
that was you
Hey,
know
old boy graduated in the late 1900s.
right, right. But that's wisdom, though, man. You know,
Yeah, no doubt.
We wise, man.
Yeah, we got
you know,
these gray stripes coming in.
That's right. Y'all was on the football team together.
right. You know, we ancient. You know,
know?
that's where wisdom comes from, right?
That's right.
You know, it's profound to experience a lot of things that we've experienced in life, right? To get to the point where we are, and you know, to learn the things we've learned and experience the things we've experienced. So when we talk about, you know, the mental health, what exactly does it actually mean? You know, it's a phrase
It
that's
is a
been
phrase.
tossed around a lot lately, right? There's you know, mental health awareness month. There's mental health this, you know.
Next month, actually.
This next month, yeah. So there's always, you know, mental health has been tossed around a lot in our modern day, especially
Right.
you know through COVID, right? A lot of people lost their minds through COVID, right? Because people were forced to be still, and people
Right.
couldn't manage being still with
Right.
themselves. People couldn't even like be with themselves because they're so busy,
Right.
you know, waking up every morning, sitting in traffic, going to work, drinking coffee,
So,
doing
like
this,
you
that, and
just
the other,
said, so,
right?
like, so what does that even mean, though?
Right?
Lost their mind.
Yeah.
Exactly, right?
does that mean?
Well,
Yeah.
well, people were out here, you know, domestic violence was at an all-time high. Suicide has been at an all-time high, right?
Facts.
So that's what I mean. People have been like losing it.
Yeah.
Like when we mean by losing it is doing the things that we as a society view as not good or as bad things, right? You know, domestic violence, we consider that a bad thing, right?
It was at an all-time high.
Forced to be in the house.
Suicide
with
is
your- with
considered
your
a bad thing,
significant
right?
other.
Right. So that, yeah,
It's
exactly.
forced to be in the house with your family.
With your family,
You
the
know?
people
The
exactly,
people that
like
you should
literally,
be.
you didn't have to go to work.
You know?
You didn't have to worry about, you know, a
And
lot
they
of
lost
stuff.
their minds.
You could be at home watching
I
Netflix,
honestly
you know, eating
saw a
food.
lot of beauty
Everybody
in
got
it.
stimulus checks,
You
right?
know?
You got money, you got stimulus to just sit at
Hey.
the house, and people were losing it.
I mean,
like
for
how
some
was
people,
For
it
some people.
exposed them. You know, it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I really don't want to be in this situation.
Yeah.
So then you have to make a choice on,
Yeah.
do you stay with the status quo or do you go after what's inside of you?
exactly?
right. That's
Me,
right.
I was like, yo, the world stopped.
Stop
Yeah,
I was like,
completely.
I ain't gotta go nowhere. I ain't gotta
Right.
do nothing.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
they done fucked up.
Yo, man.
And some
I
people
know-
still
I'm
ain't went back
saying.
to the office.
Hey,
Some
hey,
people still, you know,
hey,
working
yeah.
remotely.
Hey.
But I saw a lot of beautiful things in it. You know, like people being home, being present with their families, being
Yeah.
you know, communicating, saying, tapping into their children. What's going on with you? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on with school? What's going on in your life? You know, being forced to sit down and get in tune with each other. I think that was beautiful.
I think it was actually. I mean, COVID was necessary. I think we actually,
Yeah.
as a world, on a global, the fact that it was even global, I even think
Right.
I think it's bigger than actually what we think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was like a reset. It really allowed us
was.
to,
Yep.
yeah.
For
A
So it was a
reset.
reset.
For some people, they didn't take advantage of it.
Right.
You know, they just kept on with they
Because people were panicking.
right.
People were in a state of panic.
Yeah.
I mean, like mental health, like during the pandemic, like hit our family really hard in multiple ways. It hit me one way, it hit my wife one way, it hit my son one way. You know.
Yeah.
And honestly, we're just now starting to come out of some of those mindsets and situations that we were dealing with
Yeah.
when that actually, actually hit. I learned a lot about the mental health system,
Yeah.
and yeah, the mental health system is trash.
So talk about that a little bit more, right? What
trash.
was what was the thing that actually allowed you to like I said, identify that there was some type of a mental health challenge
Yeah, we just
personally, and
started
then
going through
yeah,
some things with our son. You know, we
okay,
just noticed like some things were off, and he was having some serious like challenges, and had to do some reality testing. You know, like what was kind of going on in life, and it was a minute where we couldn't find him. We didn't know where he was. You know, and we finally found him, and he ended up in another state.
oh
Oh,
You
wow,
know, and we had to get him back here. And like I saw this lady that was speaking on a TED talk,
okay,
right? And I oh, no, my wife was FaceTiming me. So
all right,
speaking on a TED talk, and she was here in Atlanta, and I just started writing to her, writing to her, writing to her, writing to her, and she had sent me an email back and it said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm not taking on any new clients right now," because one thing about like the mental health industry, therapists, the good ones, they don't take insurance, so you just got to pay them out cash. So like if you expect to have, I'm not gonna say this because I mean I don't want to make it to where it's impossible for anybody, but it feels like that when you're going through it.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have the means to be able to afford the right treatment, health care, it's tough, man. You see, like especially
Yeah.
with it's happening more and more with our youth.
Yeah.
And you see, I've never seen so many young people that's homeless. You know when you're out and you see
Yeah.
young people that's just talking to themselves, that's just trying to they trying to find themselves or where they're at.
exactly.
You know,
Right.
and they don't always have the right means to be able to do it. And
Right.
sometimes they come from well off families, and maybe
Exactly.
they're in the mindset of where they don't need help, because what I've learned is when a person is going through like a manic episode or just in one of those spells that he's dealing with because of his illness or what he has going on, they feel like they're doing the right thing for themselves.
Yes,
And as when they become young adults, they have the autonomy to accept treatment or not accept treatment.
Yeah.
So it becomes very tricky. You still have to respect the person's
Right.
right, even though what that they potentially need. You still have to respect their rights of that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to take that medication because
Right.
finding the right medication is a whole nother challenge. Finding the right therapist is a whole nother challenge.
exactly.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you staying sane through the process. It's a
That
whole nother
part.
challenge.
That part. Because
Yeah.
it's they need support. They need a support system because it like we're saying it is a mental illness, so they're not in the right state of mind. They don't necessarily know, logically how to react.
Right.
And some of these, you talk about children, some of these children are out here with parents who are going through it, who are mentally ill.
Absolutely.
And so
They
they can't, help their children go through it because they're going
Yeah.
through it. And these children are left out here fending for themselves
Yeah.
and are acting out and just looking for love, looking for people in the wrong places
Right.
to, feel accepted or
Right.
you feel like they can, relate to somebody. And it's sad.
And that's what I learned too. I learned for certain illnesses, it could be hereditary.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it could be
skip
hereditary.
generations,
And that's why we have these talks. That's why
Yeah.
we have these intercourses, because we got to get it out here. People don't know what's going on. People
Yeah.
don't know how to heal from trauma because some people don't even realize that they have trauma.
But I'm
It's
so
like-
thankful. A lot of it is always based upon trauma.
Yeah.
And it could
Yeah.
be something so simple as a car accident for
Yeah.
one person. It could be molestation for
Yeah.
another person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you
it
hear
could be
stories.
losing
losing.
losing someone,
Yeah.
just not healing from it.
I
know.
think about all the partners, specifically one that I lost at an early age. That like, I don't know if I still ain't got over my partner JJ being killed, man. It's just like I can remember when I was told. I can remember what I felt like.
Exactly.
I can remember
Right.
thinking I was hearing his voice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff that you go through.
Wow.
Phone is bunking right now. Hotline jumping.
Hey,
Yeah.
they feel the vibrations, man.
You know?
Yeah.
They're
I
like,
guess so.
yeah.
I guess
But-
so.
That's
Yeah.
very powerful because when you mention that it's mostly trauma related, I think it all is trauma related, right? To a certain type of capacity. Because even as we come into this world as children, we actually are born into trauma because we, whatever your parents are going through at the time of conception,
Yep.
through the pregnancy, through birth, is actually transferred over to you.
Yep.
Bro, you
Right.
got ancestral trauma.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Ancestral
Travels down the
trauma.
bloodline. We already
Yeah.
know what that means.
Yeah.
They're us.
Exactly, right? So I remember years ago when I hear some music coming on. Does that mean we
You
need,
late
we need,
as
we need-
hell.
we need to take a break? Is that what I'm hearing now?
He playing
Right?
and he Neo now. He bringing it
Uh-oh.
back.
Okay.
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 Yeah. Let's do it. So we're gonna take a little moment,
But
pay
that's our
some
break.
bills.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
We'll be back on Conscious Intercourse.
Yes, sir.
Conscious Intercourse.
Hey.
Conscious Intercourse. Actually, I like saying it.
We know.
Intertwining
We
our
know.
spiritual existence to accelerate our evolution.
That's right.
Again, we got CJ in the building.
CJ.
Reclaim Karma.
Reclaim Karma.
Getting it, right?
That's right. Hey, y'all can follow us everywhere at Reclaim Karma.
Yes.
That's Instagram, that's TikTok, that's Facebook.
Yeah.
Reclaim Karma.
Yeah.
And I love the name. How'd y'all come up with that?
So we started out building custom furniture. We moved into a house. We didn't really have the money
Yeah.
to furnish the house. And my wife has this illustrious design taste. And so everywhere was restoration hardware, Z galleries, the private collections, and
Okay.
all throughout Atlanta. And during that time period, that was when like reclaimed materials were just now starting to like really pop.
Okay.
And so a lot of the stuff just looked like people was like, oh, I can make that into a table. They found it on the side of the road and put it in there and put a $600 price tag on it for a coffee table.
Right.
I saw a lot of stuff made out of pallet wood.
I love
Okay.
And
that.
I was like,
Yeah.
I could build that, bro.
Straight up.
Never picked up, never built any furniture in my life or whatever. I
Wow.
was like, I could build that.
Yeah.
And built it, and she posted on Facebook, and somebody was like, oh, that's dope. Is that for sale? And she was like,
Yup.
nope. And I was like, erase.
Yep.
Right.
Everything's
Undo.
for
And I
sale.
sold a pallet for $300.
Wow.
And at the time, I was with Pepsi in sales, and I started doing the math, and I was like, yo, we sold X amount. Like, oh, yeah, it's up.
What's up, right?
Yeah,
Let's get
do
it.
That's what's up. That's what's
Yep.
up.
And then we always knew that, like, we had to, we knew we wanted to start a business, and we were trying to figure out how to incorporate the word karma into it. So like we deal with reclaimed materials, and karma is like basically we find stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We make it good and then we put it back out. So it's it's
circulating.
cyclical as well, just like
Yeah.
karma.
What's up?
So we recycle things.
I like that.
Yep. That's how reclaim karma came. to
That's
be.
what's up.
That's very creative, being
Yeah.
able to tap into your you know,
Creative side.
yeah, your creative side,
You
right?
know, what comes natural, you
Right.
know, without you
Yeah.
having to think about
Yeah,
it.
the
'Cause
creator
that's our
within
gifts.
you, right?
That's what it is.
Exactly.
That's our gifts.
Yeah,
Doing what you love.
Doing what you love
Right.
and being able to do it with the people you love.
Yeah.
What better thing than that, you know?
Exactly.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's awesome. So Reclaim Karma, how many years in business?
Inception 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, since 2015. So just about a decade.
oh
That's
wow,
what's
man,
up.
that's amazing.
Any big projects coming up?
Working on a new build, working on 2 new builds.
Okay.
Got a cool project coming up. It's like a 197 inch TV that comes out of the ground.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Wow.
real fly. That's pretty fly.
Dope.
But I think
dope,
we're gonna
dope,
end
dope.
up incorporating the whole space and then building a pool house in the back also.
Nice.
You know, and just make it a whole like vibe back there because it's got a
Okay.
pool now, and they want to be able to have the TV come out the ground.
Okay.
You know, while you in the pool.
Okay.
chilling. But I'm like, let's not.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know, the way that we operate is we're very holistic. So we're like, let's not just do the TV.
Yeah,
Let's plan the whole area out. That way, as you expand, it
Exactly.
doesn't look like things were just piecemeal together.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything has to have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Be,
Right,
be
right.
intentional about it. Yeah.
That's
So
what's
we're gonna
up.
walk down and do it right.
yeah, tapping into that creativity, right, is
Yeah.
so amazing. Like I love to see how people can create things just out of nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's our greatest gift as human beings. Our greatest, possession is our ability to create, right? Because we're
God.
it's God. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
God,
That's
yeah.
creation, right?
Yeah.
Because we're creating each moment, moment by moment. We're creating a reality as gods in our own right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's why we got to keep our, our mental together because we know that stress, it affects our creativity.
Yeah.
You know, when our mind is not right, we cannot be creative. We can't be our best, mentally
Yeah.
when we are stressing and stuff like that. You know that we don't
We don't operate well.
Yeah.
operate well.
Yeah, because before we went on the break, we were talking about how ancestral trauma, right, generation trauma impacts us from the time we enter the world, right. So it's almost like we're coming into this place with these things that are part of our incarnation, part of our experience. But it's like for me, I'm beginning to learn that isn't that our purpose to rise above these things, right? Because you can't control the circumstances you come into. Some people it's more, I guess it's deeper than others or more convoluted than others, right? So it's like, why does some people have to experience what is considered by others a more trying experience, right, of coming into the world into some type of a traumatic
Bro, so
experience.
I think number one,
Yeah.
what don't break you make you. You know, and
Yeah.
if you're not evolving, you dissolving.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
like that.
That's
I like that.
Well, I guess that's 2 things. I said one. That's 2
Yeah.
things. Right, take that.
That's what I'm saying, right? If you're not dissolving, you
Right.
If you're not evolving,
If you're dissolving, if
you're
you're not
dissolving.
evolving,
Hey, that's hey.
That's it.
yo,
Patent.
He
That's-
patent.
we gotta get that. Let's
On
write that down.
108.9.
Let's
Mike,
write
you
that
heard
down.
it
You heard it here
You heard it
first.
here, right? This, hey,
you
that's
heard
a
it
CJ
first.
original. I've been
love
dropping
that.
that little
If you're
bar
not
around
evolving,
here
you're
too. So,
dissolving.
you know,
No,
I
that's
can get that on a
powerful.
t-shirt
I
at
like that.
reclaimkarma.com.
Yeah, nah, that's powerful, bro. Yeah,
But the other
That's
thing
real.
is like, I feel as though a lot of times I get those, like, yo, I've been in this moment before.
yeah,
all the
so
time.
that deja
Get those
vu, right?
deja vus.
Yeah,
So it almost feels like I'm here to learn a lesson I didn't catch the
previous
first time I
time.
was around in this life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you ask, like, why do you have to go through these certain things? It's because maybe this time your lesson was resilience. Maybe the last time it was patience. Maybe it was to be aggressive. You were always passive in your past lives,
okay.
knowing that you were supposed to reach a certain level, but you weren't aggressive enough to be able to go,
Yeah.
go do it.
So what is the purpose to all of that? Why do we have to go through and learn these lessons, right? That's a question that I ask myself. It's like, why, right? Why do we, like you mentioned, if we have to come back, right? So you pretty much insinuated that we live past lives or that we reincarnate, that
I
there's
don't know
something.
what it is, but I just
right?
know I get the feeling I'll be like,
Like you've been here before.
something about to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Deja vu, no.
And I think we get stuck in trying to figure it out all the time.
Yeah.
What is my purpose? Why am I here? Why did
Yeah.
that happen? Why is this person? Just live.
Just live,
just be,
right?
just just move with integrity.
Mm.
You know, when you get those moments, and you have those thoughts, and you get that deja vu, it's
Yeah.
like confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the universe gives you that.
Yeah.
It gives you confirmation through things like that, through
Yeah.
thoughts, through feelings, and through things and people that come around you, right?
Okay.
But keep moving. It's
Keep
like,
moving.
don't get stuck and go in the rabbit's hole because you're trying to figure out why. Why am I doing this? Why?
But sometimes it's easier-
hard to-
it's easier said than done,
Yeah.
especially like when we talk about mental health.
Yeah.
Sometimes like chemically, you just not in the right place. Just
Yeah.
Exactly.
at certain points of a woman's life and a man's life, hormonally, they just not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you are not able to be your best self, and so sometimes you need
Grace.
therapy, grace.
Grace with
You need-
yourself.
Yeah.
Give yourself some time. Like you said, we always we
Yeah.
in a hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
Give yourself time to
Yeah.
just chill.
Hold up, bruh. Hold up.
Trademark thing.
This is copywritten trademark theft on 108.9.
Right? Nah, that's a good one, right?
Well, we got to give ourselves grace. You know
mean,
what I'm
grace,
saying?
you know.
Grace is important.
Yeah, and I last year I saw a movie and it talked about how the mystery of life is not a problem to solve, but rather a reality to experience.
That's right.
Right.
I love it.
So I'm just like,
Doom.
yo, right? And so it's like that's why I watch movies to get quotes, man. It's like,
I'll put me on the podcast.
right, up straight up, right? Yeah. So it's like it's like a movie. We just got to experience this thing, right? And just not be so attached to the feelings and emotions, what's going to happen
And
10 years from
outcomes,
now.
right.
Not being attached to the outcomes, exactly,
That's right.
Just, living life in this moment and cherishing every little thing
Yeah,
in this particular moment.
exactly.
That's ultimately, because we talk about mental health and these traumas and all these things. Yes, they are here. They're part of our existence. But then it's like, how do we then begin to overcome them or eradicate them, right? So we can live and reach our fullest potential as human beings,
said it best, man. It's grace and time.
right?
Like everything just takes time, man.
Yeah.
Like you don't become great without time. You don't
Yes.
age without time. You don't figure out your spouse without time. I think
Yes.
where we're at in society right now, it's 15 seconds.
Because everybody
That-
wants
that's what you
instant
get, right?
gratification.
Yeah.
Popcorn society.
It's like I want
Right.
it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technology, everything is just speeding everything up.
Man, you
Like,
can't have the glory without the story.
Right.
all right,
Ooh.
CJ.
They
Like,
be like, CJ, hold
going
up.
crazy
Can't
now.
have the glory without the story.
going crazy
That's what
now.
I'm talking about.
He going crazy now.
No glory without the story.
Right,
You just
CJ.
take notes of that. I like that one too.
Yeah,
we-
but
we-
that's
we-
real.
No, that's powerful, right? So the story is part of
The glory, yeah.
the journey.
Yeah.
Like
right?
you are
It's-
mine. You're writing this book.
Allegedly.
You have an amazing story, and you
You
get
are.
so frustrated. He gets so frustrated. Oh, this book should have been written. I should have been wrote this book. I can't get into. The book is still unfolding.
Yeah, why you put my business
Yes,
out right
that's
now?
what we do. That's what we do.
right now.
This is what
But
we
you
put
can
it all out
Wow.
there.
You write in two ways too.
You
though.
could write.
Yeah, straight
It
up.
should have been done.
Yes.
But the story
It's
doesn't
still
end.
it
It doesn't end. So I'm gonna have to do a part. I'm gonna have to do a series.
There it
The
is.
part one. Let's do part one, and then part two
Sound like
coming
a
soon.
show.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying, straight up, right?
You know,
So you're right. The
let it unfold.
Yeah. So it's the story. It's the movie. Like literally, we're creating it as we.
Ah,
There it is again. We're getting it. Good job, my man. Right?
hilarious.
We're chopping it up.
Hilarious.
Right? It's
Hilarious.
So it's the beauty in the journey,
That's right.
right? The collateral beauty in everything that we experience,
That's right.
and realize that it's all part of our evolution. It's all part of our creation to who we are and what we are experiencing. But it's like, how do you then get someone that's dealing with a lot of anxiety or depression, right? From whatever, reason, right? Because it's a lot of different things that impact us, right? Like, how do we then help people? Because it's easier said than done. Like you said, it's the journey, but you got some people that are just in dark places, in deep,
Yeah, you do, man. I know like what was a breakthrough for us was acknowledgement,
Okay.
patience. If you're the family member,
Yeah.
acknowledgement, like, okay, this is happening, right? You know, especially in our culture, we're doing better with it. But you know, traditionally, we've been quick to write people off like
Yeah.
he just an asshole. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or she just got a problem.
Yeah.
They need their ass beat. You know.
Yeah.
You know, they just need to go
Right.
through some hard times before
Exactly.
they get their stuff together, and that's not always the case. So, you know,
Yeah.
acceptance,
Yeah.
patience,
Right.
resources, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, having the right resources to be able to get in the right spaces. I thank God actually for COVID when it hit,
Yes.
because if it was gonna affect our family at any time, at least it was during a time where the world had kind of stopped for it.
Exactly.
And we had an opportunity to really just buckle down
And deal with it.
and, yeah, look
Yeah.
into different doctors, different treatments. Just, man, we was looking at stuff. One spot was $16,000 a week.
What? Man, does God himself comes
That
down,
stress you
right?
out in itself. Like you
Right.
want to go get therapy to.
16 racks a week.
Wow.
One was like,
That's
we got the best
ridiculous.
prices in town, 28 grand a month. For
Wow.
the first month, it was like a 90-day program,
That's
16,000.
ridiculous.
Wow.
You know, and a lot of just on our side, a lot of prayer
Yeah.
and faith. I believe that, you know, having faith in that, man, things just gonna work itself out, and always believing that the good
There you
is gonna
go.
shine through everything.
There you
It
go.
always works itself. It always works.
It
It always
does.
has.
It
So
does.
I'm not. Why should I think any other way? So
Yeah.
you know,
There
I
you
really
go.
don't stress over things. I mean, of course, you know, things hit you like, oh shit, but for the most part, I'm like, man, God got me.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna work itself out. However it work out, it's gonna work out.
And that's
Yeah.
where it starts with though,
And-
that thinking like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how it works itself out by first thinking like that, knowing that you're gonna be good,
It's gonna be good.
right? He always, I always been good.
Yeah.
Why it's gonna stop now?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's profound. Ultimately, you know, you talked about resources, but one of the things that, you know, alluding to what we talked about earlier, the tools as well, right? We got to be aware of the tools that we can leverage to help us out of these, you know, trying times or difficulties or challenges. Because ultimately, you know, tools such as, when I'm talking about tools, I'm talking about, you know, modalities, right? Healing modalities, where you talk about, you know, whether it's meditation, whether or not it's yoga, whether it's, you know, there's a whole new world that's opening up with psychedelics, right? There's, you know, shrooms,
You
right?
on these shrooms, bro?
Bro, I mean, everybody keeps talking about them, right? I'm like, yo, like, you know,
just got
I mean,
offered
I'm like,
I
yo,
just got offered
I'm like,
shrooms at
I'm like,
the
yo,
other day.
Really?
think
What
about
is
it.
happening right
Think
now,
about
bro?
it, right? I saw Mario Brothers this week,
I was
right,
just
with the
about to
children,
say
right?
that.
Like Mario
They
Brothers
was
used
telling us-
to take shrooms and become invincible. Remember, they would get bigger. You used to play
Yeah,
Mario Brothers.
yeah.
Like they were trying to tell us
Like
something,
they-
right?
as
So
kids.
this whole world is opening up right now, where people are tapping. What shrooms are, mushrooms
Hey, that's
are
what manna was on the Bible.
right, exactly, manna, right?
Yeah.
So people are healing. People are finding a
By
lot of
natural
healing from
things.
trauma, from shrooms and certain types of psychedelics.
I don't
you
know,
know,
bro.
And-
I mean, that's what I'm
somebody-
saying.
Somebody told me they hit shrooms.
And
they
Mary
thought they was
Jane.
Papa Smurf.
Wait, what?
Well,
You was on the same text. You was
allegedly,
on the group
but we don't
text.
know what they took. They said it was some type of shroom type thing,
I
but
saw him eating. I saw him
Something.
eating it.
But
You know,
you don't know-
I seen the demise
Yeah.
happen that night.
but that's the
Wow.
thing. We have to be careful as well
You got
because there's
to.
a lot of things out
Tampering
there,
with- they
right?
tampering with
There's a lot of things
everything.
out there that people are putting out and say, "Oh, this is this is that." So we have to be very careful about what, you know, society and, you know, people that have a certain agenda.
Yeah.
We can't, you know, deny that there's a certain agenda by certain people to push certain things forward, right?
Yeah, just
But,
like weed,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's,
like
it's
weed,
from the earth,
exactly,
but
right?
it's all different kinds of,
Yeah,
you know.
Weed today ain't the same weed.
Yeah, you know,
Exactly.
speaking
Boy.
of tomorrow
Yeah.
420,
I don't know.
right? So-
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it's for dub, right?
420
So, but
tomorrow.
ultimately, you know, there are just like how we have food to heal certain physical ailments,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, let that food be that medicine.
Exactly.
There you
Right?
go.
But why
It's
can't we
supposed to
believe
be.
that there's also food specifically for our mental well-being as well, right?
So I am learning that there is.
Yes, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So tapping into that because, you know, like I'm saying, I believe that there's some truth in everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether it's shrooms, whether it's some type of psychedelic, psilocybin,
Mm-hmm.
whether there's a lot of just information out there, right? So you have to be able to
decipher
what's
good for
what is
you.
for you and what
Yeah.
is not. What may be good for me, it may not necessarily be good for you or for for you. But ultimately, it's a matter of being in tune with our higher selves, right?
Right.
And so we have to be able to quiet down the noise and distractions, so we could be in tune with whatever is
Yeah.
meant for us to be able to
I
tap
mean,
into as a
and
tool.
sometimes, like you can go a holistic route,
Yeah,
but sometimes you need to go a chemical route.
Perhaps,
in order
right?
to be
Especially if you
able
wait
to,
too late.
yeah,
yeah, in
Yeah.
order to
You
be able
know?
to, you might just
Yeah.
need something stronger
Yeah.
because
yeah.
the situation is that dire at that moment.
It's a
But see-
dire, right?
You
It's
know?
it's what do
Yeah.
you call it? It's traumatic. It's what do you know like what do you call the trauma centers where if you like you bust your head wide open, they fly you to a trauma center.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's
Yeah.
something that needs it's an
Immediate
immediate
attention.
attention.
Immediate
So you got to
attention.
do what you got to do in the
Yeah.
But don't
immediate
take
time.
it to numb yourself. Like some people like
Yeah.
do drugs or
Yeah.
whatever to numb themselves.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm speaking more so specifically about mental
Medic-
health
yes.
and medicine.
All that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, I
Because
think
people don't want to feel. People take
Correct.
stuff so they don't have to feel,
have
so
to
they don't
feel
have
it.
to process.
Well,
it.
not necessarily, but for me, for example, I'm gonna share my little story. I remember I was diagnosed as having generalized anxiety,
Okay.
right? And I was like, "What the hell does that mean?"
Yeah.
Like, so the therapist, my wife and I went to marriage counseling, and within 30 minutes, he, based on, we shared our problems, our issues, he diagnosed me as being anxious and having a generalized anxiety disorder. And he told me that it was based on a chemical imbalance that could only be resolved with some type of chemical, right? So, I took it kind of hard because I kind of felt like the R word, in that moment. I was like, yo, what you mean? Like, he was just like, well, so I told him how I used to smoke weed through college and things of that nature. He was like, well, you were self-medicating, but weed is no longer legal, but I got this anti-anxiety pill that I could subscribe to you. So, I took it kind of hard. It took me a minute. I called my boy. I was like, yo, Deuce. I was like, yo, they say now I'm anxious. He's like, man, Kadima, you tripping, man. You're a black man in America. Of course you're anxious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What you mean?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's
Exactly.
like, but I started taking on, and I remember being at work one day talking to a coworker and telling her, like, man, she's like, what's wrong with you? I was like, man, I just feeling some type of way. I got to take these anti-anxiety meds. She's like, you tripping about that? She's like, man, our whole department is on something.
on something.
Everybody taking
Wow,
something. So I'm saying, so it's
exactly.
almost like for us to just function in this artificial world, right?
So
we have to tweak. So we are naturally not in an alignment with this world that's been created for us.
Yeah.
So now for us to fit into the world, we have to be able to now supplement our mental state with some type of a chemical.
I think you have levels to it.
Yes.
I think there's certain levels where you can holistically get it right.
Yeah.
Right. And then there's other levels where you need some medical assistance. I mean,
Correct.
take people like greats, Van Gogh, Basquiat,
Yeah.
that, either committed suicide or cut their ears off.
Damn.
That's a thought disorder. And sometimes you just don't have the right dopamine levels or balance inside of you to be able to even get to a place where you can start experimenting with holistic ways so that you can move yourself, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
off of the medication per se. But for some people, it's just like mental health is really no different than somebody that has not necessarily type 2 diabetes,
Yeah.
but type 1 diabetes?
Type 1, yeah. I
Yeah,
know
type 1
there's only two
diabetes.
type, yeah.
That's just the way that their body is made, that they have that.
Yeah.
And so they take insulin or they take other,
Yeah.
holistic stuff to be able to help them. But a lot of
Yeah.
times the insulin is what they need.
Right.
For some people that have, a mental health issue,
Correct.
they need to take that medication in order to balance them out.
Right.
And I've seen
Exactly.
it firsthand because we were not like on board with just taking meds and
Yeah.
try to, dope my son up. Like,
Yeah.
we ain't on that, But
Yeah.
That's the first
at
thing
a
they tell you to do.
Yeah, at a certain point, it gets to a place of where the right medication has made all the difference
Yes.
in our lives.
But from my understanding as well, medication is simply a formulation from nature within
Some,
itself.
yeah.
No,
Some.
actually, all of it. My understanding is that actually these scientists, a lot of the information that we have was taken from ancient Kemet, ancient Africa, where they would go and sit with the medicine man and these medicine people. It's all just information from the past, from nature, that we've concocted and made it into
I wouldn't
a
disagree
chemical
with that.
version, a chemical version of it to make it easily accessible and to monetize it. Right?
Exactly.
That's
Definitely
that's what I'm
to
saying.
monetize
Yeah.
it.
So
I
to me,
agree.
it's like we got to tap into what it was initially.
Man,
Like
you
whatever.
know that book is in the Vatican somewhere though, bro.
That's what I'm saying. We got to get that book. That's what I'm saying, right?
book at
Hey,
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah.
But we ultimately
yeah.
know is that we were given the tools,
Tools here on this
by
earth.
God, by
Facts.
nature, to address all of these
All
things,
Yeah.
right? There's all this, stuff talking about, ayahuasca and all this stuff that's going on, right? There used to be these, from my understanding, even with the ayahuasca, I'm not ever heard of that, but there's
Is that the flower? Is
yes,
that
the flowers in
Yeah.
in the Amazon that they
Yeah,
discovered,
that
and
you
that
go and you have this
it's
euphoric
ceremony and this type exactly euphoric
Yeah.
experience, you out of body experience where you kind of step outside of yourself and you kind of see things, you become one with all pervasive reality, all love, and and it's supposed to be a lot of times it heals people
Saw a
for
dude
yeah.
that said he turned into a tree, and
Ex-
they buried him underneath the tree. He became part of the tree. Again. It
Exactly,
changed his
right?
life.
Yeah, so there's all the stuff that's going on. I don't know how, what's the stuff we were talking about the other day with the stuff that they put people to sleep to. No, it's a nah, man. There's stuff
What did he say?
Sometimes you have to. It's they use it as a form of anesthesia to kind of calm you down before they actually
Like
administer.
morphine?
It's not like morphine. That's more of a pain.
It is.
It's a form of anesthesia. I know my son had to get it
Oh,
recently. Ketamine, yes.
Ketamine.
So, for example, ketamine is synthetic chemical, but there's like these clinics that are coming up with these modern day healing modalities where they use ketamine treatment. So that you go into a facility, they inject you with ketamine and let you sit there, and they monitor you, and you go through these out of body type experiences to where you resolve all your trauma. It's like it allows you to step back out of yourself.
So
and
they
you
were
resolve all
doing
your
that
traumas,
with
right?
microdosing back in the
Exactly.
day too. That's when
Yeah.
it started. And
Correct.
Well, I guess they said it was just opening up doors that the society didn't need.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. So sometimes we wonder, is it, we also ultimately understand and know and recognize that this society has been created and has been molded to be a certain way to capitalize humanity, right?
Right.
By the power, but those that know, right? So is it perhaps the reason why we don't have access to these types of
Oh yeah, 100.
things and modalities is to
Oh,
keep
yeah.
us in a place of
Absolutely.
of
Absolutely.
subservience,
It's just
right?
like it's just like
Right.
the insurance business, our
Right.
healthcare. They don't want you to
Right.
holistically heal yourself. They
Yeah.
want you to be dependent on their medications.
Yeah.
Facts.
So yeah.
You
So
know?
so exactly. So is it just a lack of information? My people should perish from the lack of knowledge.
That's
So
right.
it seems like
It
mental
is.
health literally is a lack of information, because if we were aware all this time that we spend in school learning about parabolas and all this crap that we learn, if we spent most of that, at least a good portion of that time learning about mental health and treatments and trauma and how it impacts us, right? Ultimately, we'll be able to heal each other, right?
But let's say this, right? So we know a couple of families who have a child that has like both serious physical,
Yes.
not illness, but what's
Yeah.
the word for it?
Ailment.
Ailment.
Correct, yes.
Can't say the R word. Like,
Yeah, no,
Right.
some say we don't do the R word no more.
Right.
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
say that no more.
Special
Yeah.
needs.
There you go.
Yeah.
Special needs.
Special Yes.
needs,
You
yeah.
know, and like there's some things like you can't fix it.
Yeah.
But is it something to be fixed? It may not be something to be
Yeah.
fixed.
Yeah.
It may be
maybe,
something
maybe
to,
that's their experience to come and learn whatever lesson through
yeah,
that.
because everybody trying to
you know.
fix something. Like, why?
Yeah.
Is oh, they're not normal. Who said they're not normal?
I feel you on that.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I
Like,
feel you on that.
you just
Yeah.
But
because
I think when a person is in harm of it is in risk of harming themselves or
Yeah.
harming others.
Yes.
I think there is something that needs to be
this is true.
fixed and worked upon. I mean, all these
Addressed,
mass
right?
shootings, yeah, addressed.
Yeah.
All these mass shootings, I think
Ooh.
Exactly. I mean, they're all
Over
mental
the
health
last
related,
week,
right?
it was like 5, like all happening at the same time in different cities.
Yeah.
Children just shooting
Yeah.
up in crowds. Like, is it a coincidence? It's almost like it's designed. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing is a coincidence. Like all this is happening
I mean, but they're also
By
being
design.
desensitized. You know, you watching
think that's
Netflix.
more what it is.
Exactly. You're watching
Yeah.
TV and Netflix. It's not
Yeah.
that, you know, it's
But we had
it's
a
in,
lot of murders and stuff on TV too, bro.
yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's been
Yeah.
happening, but I think it's more documented now. Like we had our,
social
you know, in
media,
social
it's-
media. It's more.
yeah.
I mean, there was stuff that was happening even when we were growing up. We just didn't tap into it as much because the information was not readily accessible like that.
I mean,
Right.
It's pretty graphic, man. When Ricky got shot, bro.
So yeah, Ricky was rough, man. That had me in the tears, man.
No, but
you
now,
saw
like
it
you
coming,
said,
and
we
Ricky was
desensitized
running.
to
You know what
it.
I'm saying?
And then you can't tell
Yeah.
me that when you saw Juice, bro, you ain't want to be Bishop.
Man.
That's what I'm saying,
At least
bro.
I felt like I wanted to be Bishop.
Yeah, no,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
with you, man.
Why?
Yeah.
Why though?
Why though?
Because it's glorified, right?
Gangsters.
Gangsters are glorified, right? You know,
Niggas.
we all grew up on Scarface, right? You know, that's it's glorified to be, you know, Tony
Yeah.
Montana, right? It's glorified to be the gangster in the rap
The
songs,
boss.
right? We grew up glorifying that type of lifestyle. It's part of our condition, you know, desensitization of our people, right?
Right.
So we begin to become aware of these things. Even like, you know, there was a documentary a while back on Netflix about the social dilemma and how the impact of social media is having on our mental state of being and our relationships as human beings. Because now we are seeking for this validation. Like people, you could post something. If you don't get enough likes, now your day's
Oh
ruined.
man.
You know, your day's messed up. I've
we
experienced
had-
it where I post something. I'm like, damn,
Man,
I didn't get enough. I got
that's
only
a
got
good
only,
point.
only got
Charge,
10, only got
bro.
10 likes.
We
Like,
all been there.
Now my day
We've
is like,
all been
damn. I'm
there.
like, man, like you know,
Nobody care about it.
exactly.
Right.
Nobody cares what I'm saying.
Man, this
Nobody
business is
like me.
trash.
Right?
I shouldn't
You know what
do
I'm saying?
this. Like-
Exactly. And somebody else, you like, oh, they got 10,000 likes. They ain't better than me. Like, what makes them better? So we
Right.
get into this, like, we don't even, we're desensitized. We've been, like, yeah, bro, it's tormented. It's a mental torment. It's really hell.
Yeah.
Right? They're creating hell within our state of mind.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
mean,
therefore,
heaven here too, then, right?
no,
There you
heaven is
go.
here, right?
Facts.
But it's about becoming aware and conscious. That's why conscious intercourse is so important. Being conscious of what exactly what we're experiencing,
Bro.
right? What we're experiencing, right? No, for real, like straight up,
Okay.
right? Becoming aware and conscious of these things, then we can be able to create a platform. There you go, right? Oh snap!
I cannot,
Damn.
Michael.
Hey,
Whoa.
Yeah, that
Okay.
you know,
All
right?
right, Mike might be one of the best, the dopest
We all
producers
cried.
in the game.
We
Right?
all cried.
Okay.
Ricky,
like,
right?
Like, not Ricky.
Yo,
Right.
You
bro,
know, the
that-
one about to make it out the
Yo,
hood,
I'm
right?
about- I'm
the
about-
one about to get out. But this is
I'm
exactly
about to
how
have
it happens.
PTSD, right? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, they keep pushing all this trauma. I mean,
Trauma
this was
porn,
a
right?
movie.
Yes.
Now we get this,
This is
on
life.
our phones
This is
all day
every
long.
day.
Every
Like,
day.
Baby through the door.
No,
like
first
they
thing in the
shut
morning, you
Yeah.
get on your phone, you're seeing this stuff,
Yeah.
and then how
and
you
we
know,
just keep scrolling like it's
Exactly.
nothing.
I
Oh,
just seen
just
the
another
photo
one.
of the dude
Yeah.
that got shot. Like they shot 97 times. He got hit 45.
Damn.
And I saw the. I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting to see that one.
Exactly, man.
But then I feel like I have to protect my brain by not looking,
Not even
at
looking.
that stuff.
But it's
But
like
then
a
I
car
feel
crash.
Like I'm doing a disservice to that person, just like Mammy did for her baby.
Yeah.
Emmett Till. Like the world got to see.
Gotta
this,
see what's
man.
going on. That's
Yeah.
right. No, she's like, no, I want them to see what they did to my baby.
Right.
You know, I want them to see. Yeah.
Yeah. But ultimately, you have to be responsible for what those images do to our subconscious, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because ultimately, all of this stuff is going into our subconscious mind, and it's driving us and impacting us at all times, even the times we least expect it,
Hey.
right?
Same
So
with porn.
exactly, right? Trauma porn, right?
Yeah.
Whatever version
All
of it
of
you're
it.
talking about, right?
Absolutely.
So
That's
it's
why we
mental
gotta-
health is really about us being aware and conscious of
Yes.
the external stimuli, right? Controlling the narrative of the external stimuli on how they impact our narratives of who we are and how we view ourselves. Because one of the biggest, it's just like earlier in the show I talked about love being the highest vibrational force.
That's right.
Shame is actually the lowest, right? The
Self-doubt.
lowest, right? But shame is the lowest because
Yeah.
from shame, even, we're gonna, getting ready to close out on this. There's a phenomenal documentary on Netflix. I haven't finished watching it yet, but it's called Stutz. It's about this therapist. Yeah. Jonah Hill, interviews his, creates a film about his therapist and the tools that the therapist used to help him deal with, shame for the most part. Because Jonah Hill, he's a big guy.
Big he was.
So he dealt with a lot of weight issues.
Weight, yeah.
When he was 14, he was big, he's fat, he was picked on him. And through all his success, he was still extremely unhappy with himself.
Right.
Because he was still stuck as that 14-year-old that was
Fat
getting
kid.
picked
Yep.
on, the fat kid. So
Yep.
that literally, through all the success, being a movie star, money, wealth, all that stuff, women, he was still unhappy with himself and was
Right.
unhappy, right? Because his shadow, that shadow of that 14-year-old fat kid that was picked on, was still within himself, and he was rejecting that part of himself.
Right.
So a lot of times we walk in life, and potentially our mental issues are the rejection of those things that are shameful to us.
It's trauma.
Trauma,
It's
exactly.
trauma.
It's a form of exactly.
No, I mean, if
So
there's
we have to
one thing
accept
I've
that
learned,
trauma,
that
yeah.
is what
So
everybody's
that,
got trauma.
yeah.
bro.
So, but we now have to accept those traumas, though. So that it's almost like we cannot. So what happens is we're taught to say, "Oh, this trauma is here. This bad thing happens. Detach from it. Just own it." Right. What we actually have to realize is we actually have to become one with it, because,
Yeah.
like you said,
It's part of your journey.
it's the glories in the story, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Because
Hold on, you messed it up, bro.
the stories in the glory.
Nah, man.
There is
No
no
glory, no story.
no story.
No glory, no story. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Story,
So,
no glory.
so the
No story,
story
no glory.
is the trauma.
Yes.
The story is the trauma, and you must become accepted, love it, embody your story
That's
of
right.
trauma, so you could prevail and ascend and consciously create the
part of
world
you.
and reality that you want to create, because that is what it's about: union with oneself.
That's
Anyways,
right. On
conscious
that-
intercourse. Yo, CJ,
Man, love
man,
you,
this has
bro.
been
Thank you,
powerful.
man. Thank
y'all
you
for having me.
No,
for
powerful,
coming
powerful.
on with us and
Powerful.
sharing your story. And
Yes.
would you like to, leave us with some words of wisdom?
Oh, maybe we drop some bars, man.
Oh yeah, we got an MC in the building. That's right, one of his
Drop
many
some
many
bars
gifts.
real quick, man.
Okay.
We
Let's-
live
yes,
and direct.
yes.
Okay?
Let's
All
get-
right.
Let's hear it, man.
All right, we go come off of this beat.
Yeah, we go.
Yeah.
Hey,
Do
Michael.
acapella.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey.
Okay.
hey.
Okay. Okay.
Hey. Hey. We talking about mental health, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. 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 Today I'm making the choice. I'm choosing to manifest my best thoughts instead of giving power to them. When vinyl skips, better yet them CDs from the 90s when it was scratch a bit, scratch a bit, scratch a bit.
Hey.
Praying God take your shirt, wipe me off, put me back in the rotation, and I play flawless.
Hey.
All this tribulation, man, and overstimulation at times. I feel like, damn, am I stuck in a simulation?
Ooh.
They say it's written, so I read into situations. Guess I'm searching for a deeper meaning. Talking with my demons,
Hey.
like, damn, bruh. How long you go hold on to them past ways? Nigga, you supposed to be grown. Lyrics from a good and mob song. Keep me pushing on. I got faith in something bigger. Keep me going strong. I can't let it get the upper hand like Satan stand behind thee. The scriptures that my grandmama gave me that will remind me that prayer is a weapon and she stayed on her knees. Not like them thoughts, but a queen who believe. She been gone for years,
Okay.
but her prayer still lingering. It's blasphemy to walk and feel with all this shit that's in my rear that I navigated through. Barely made it through a few. Evidence that show up next, I'll make it through it too. For the testimony, homie, I got so many blessings on me, I be remiss not to acknowledge them. Bring them forth and polish them like no longer will I wallop in woulda, coulda, shoulda shit. Change that narrative inside my mind just like Martin did. Right before they shot him, but after he planted seeds, you see, I come from that bottom. I'm that seed who grew the tree, but I ain't never throwing shade. I'm too busy getting paid. Look, I dreamed about them days when I used to rock a fade. As a schoolboy, I looked up to dope boys, thought they was cool, boy. Told myself if I ever got they wealth, I could have fooled, boy. But ooh, God knew, boy, I wasn't ready then. Just like many of my peers who did years in the pen or even heavier. You want me to stop? I just keep going, dog.
It was too much. It was too much heat. It was too much heat.
Just keep going.
CJ.